so I hate that I even have to make this video. We are being subliminally hypnotized, not once, not twice, but several times throughout the day. And when that happens, our critical mind shuts down and we become highly suggestible, whether you like it or not, to everything we are soaking up around us. And without us really even realizing it, everything is becoming a straight download to our subconscious and a part of our identity. By the end of this video, I'm going to share with you how we become hypnotized, times of the day you are likely to be hypnotized, and how to snap out of it when you are in unwanted hypnosis. Let's get to it. Welcome back to another video, BLivers. If you are new on this channel, I am Elizabeth, and here on this channel, we are all about designing a life of fulfillment through conscious creation. So if you resonate with that message, make sure you smash that subscribe button right down there with the bell notification to be updated any single time I bring a weekly upload to you. Now, we are going to be diving into something extremely important for you to know for the rest of your freaking life. So pay attention and give me a big fat thumbs up because this shit is real. All right, so diving in, the very first thing we want to address is how we even become hypnotized in the first place. Because people feel like in order for you to be hypnotized, you are in this like total trance-like state and that you would know if you were hypnotized and blah, 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 when really that's not true whatsoever. When you are under hypnosis, you're still very aware of what's going on. And 9 times out of 10, you aren't even realizing that you are in hypnosis. So let's first talk about how it even happens, right? So here's our mind. Big old fat juicy mind. And to keep it simple, our mind has 3 layers, right? Here's the conscious, here is the critical mind, and then here is the subconscious. As you guys know, a lot of BLivers, we talk about the science of the human mind, body, and spirit, because spirituality is very scientific as well. But you guys also know that roughly 90% of your life is run by your subconscious. I say roughly because I've literally been certified in all different types of things, and they say 88%, they say 95%, so I'm going to say roughly 90% because I've had all different types of credentials tell me different things, but just know that it is majority of your life, 90% roughly, it's being controlled by your subconscious, right? And so whenever we are in hypnosis, the reason why hypnosis is such a powerful tool and the reason why you become highly suggestible and the reason why we say it allows a basic straight download is because whenever we are absorbing information normally, it of course enters the conscious mind, where you decide, where it then of course hits like first hits your senses, so you understand, okay, yes, that's the door, that person's telling me yes, whatever. So you understand what's going on, you process it here. The critical mind then becomes a part of, what is my judgment on this? Do I accept this information, yada, yada, yada. But in order to get down to our subconscious mind, the information has to first pass the gate of the critical mind. So we're absorbing millions of pixels of information, both of sound and light, all the time. You don't consciously see it, because if you did, you'd be going crazy. Just to give you an example, our RAS, our reticular activating system, that thing that's completely in charge of what you are consciously seeing, picks up over 2 million pixels in every given moment, but you only see up to 200, not even a full 200 all the time, only up to 200. So a couple hundred versus over millions of pixels, that's a huge drop in the bucket. There's all sorts of stuff that you are legitimately blind to, but not picking up due to your programming. So we're picking up all this information right now, and what's happening without you even realizing or without even really knowing that's going on, you're like picking it up, okay, this is a wall, this means this, hit your critical mind, where everything that you picked up will sit in here for up to an hour and a half. And while that hour and a half is going on, that's of course where you're using your critical mind, like, do I accept this, do I want this, whatever. Once it is accepted by the critical mind, it then becomes a part of your subconscious, and then once it's a part of your subconscious, it becomes a part of your identity. So when you're in autopilot mode, when things are taking over and just basically you're living roughly 90% of your life, it's operating out of this programming. Now, hypnosis is such a powerful way to not just reprogram yourself, but to literally control humans. Because what happens in hypnosis is the critical mind is completely shut down. It's completely shut down. And not just the critical mind, but basically the consciousness too. So you're basically, now you still do have some free will here. You do, so it's not like it's like 100% shut down and you have no choice. Like, that's the beauty of being human. We still have free will, but the critical mind shuts down. So you're then operating in theta wave frequencies, which allow you to be highly suggestible because all the information is basically going straight down to your subconscious. That could be very good or that could be very bad, depending on what your environment is set up as. Now, so that's how hypnosis works. It just shuts down the critical mind. Now, how the critical mind is shut down is through one of two ways. It's shut down, well, it's same fundamental, which is an overload of stimuli, but I was going to say one or two ways, being that stimuli being emotion. It's an overload of emotion. So whenever we get highly stressed, angered, even happy, it shuts down because it's overloading the critical mind with stimuli. So it shuts it down. The second thing is just through environmental stimuli, right? So it could be lots of flashing lights, it could be lots of noise, just a really stressful environment. An overload of stimuli is the fundamental. So whether that be high intensity emotion or your environment, your critical mind is going to shut down whenever you feel overloaded. So with that being said, times that you are becoming hypnotized and not even realizing it is when you are very stressed, extremely stressed, which is not good, because when you're arguing with people, say you get stressed out because you're arguing, even though you feel like you are like, fuck that person, like I'm not believing what they're saying, because your critical mind is shutting down. Not only are you becoming like stupid or whatever because you can't access those high vibrational thoughts and intelligent, but the responses that you are hearing from the angered person as well, and the negative self-talk that's going on, is literally being so imprinted to your identity in those moments because your critical mind is shutting down. So when we're arguing, not only do you want to stop arguing for multiple reasons, but realize that arguing is so bad for you on many levels. Like, it never serves you to argue. So find a way to be more influential or merely drop the situation and get out of it, depending on what's going on, right? Because you are becoming highly suggestible in that, and you don't want to absorb any of that negativity. Another time is whenever we are learning. So this could be really good or really not, because a lot of knowledge is absolute brainwash. Even in school, like half the history we've been taught is literally not real, or it's skewed. So it's really important that when we're learning, we are constantly, like, whether you keep like a watch going and you're just like every 15 minutes you're like making sure that you're like still kind of alert and not being brainwashed about what's going on, because it's an overload of stimuli. It's all this new information. So you're basically just accepting stuff as truth whenever your critical mind is not working. So make sure that you're not being brainwashed and that you are protecting your you're protecting your identity, that whenever you're learning, even if it seems from a trusted source, that you are remaining fully conscious, because then you can choose on whether this is real or not, and you can actually question any material, because a lot of material out there is built upon lies. All right, so, and I don't mean to be negative, I just always want to protect your guys' energy, and we all know that a lot of the stuff out there is not real. Thirdly, you are likely to be hypnotized whenever you are watching movies. Music videos. A lot of music videos out there have a lot of subliminals in it that you don't even realize. Again, we are picking up over millions of pixels at a time. So you are, whether you're consciously seeing it or not, you're still seeing it. And whenever you are in that hypnotized thing, because movies, there's all those lights, there's all that action, there's sometimes intense emotion involved, you become highly suggestible, your critical mind shuts down, and then you are accepting all that information. Be really aware of music videos. I don't suggest watching a lot of music videos because of the subliminals that are in music videos. Just listen to the audio if you really want to. And even movies. Like, I know a lot of you guys like watching movies, but if you have a choice of protecting your identity, who you truly are, or getting some pleasure out of a movie, I think you would protect who you truly are as a human being, because a lot of mainstream stuff, especially, I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole, but we want to protect our critical mind. There's a lot of affiliation going out there, and that's why there's so many subliminals put into things to shape the collective consciousness to be a particular way so that it's in a particular order. So we want to make sure that we are being fully protected, living in our true identity by guarding our critical mind, and really just avoiding any ways that we can be subliminally hypnotized. Last but not least, whenever we are hypnotized, we are operating in theta wave frequency. So whenever we are in theta wave frequency, our critical mind is shut down. So I made a whole video on how to get into theta wave frequency things, because a lot of times we're in theta frequency brainwave without even realizing it. So I'll link that above and below so you guys can watch that to know other times within this detailed time that you become hypnotized. Because when we're driving, when we're even showering, things like that, where we just allow our mind to get into that theta frequency, we become hypnotized. So take critical note of that. Now, with that being said, hypnosis is an extremely leveraged tool that you can use to your advantage. I don't want to freak you guys out with all this negativity, because I feel like I'm being a little negative in this video, but I'm not trying to be. I'm just bringing it to your awareness, because awareness is key. If you're not aware of what's going on, you become a robot. You're literally not by choice being programmed by the environment that's around you. So on a flip side, you can use hypnosis highly to your advantage. I made a whole sleep hypnosis that while you're sleeping, you can literally program yourself for abundance, prosperity, wealth, and that's going to be available in the description below. I'm a student of hypnotherapy, so I know how to properly word these sleep hypnosises for you, and they actually work. They use real frequencies that allow these affirmations I'm saying to become highly suggestible and a part of your identity. So if financial abundance, freedom, prosperity is something you are dealing with right now, go ahead, grab that down below for free and use it every single night. Watch your financial life explode. All right, so with that being said though, let's talk about how to snap ourselves out of hypnosis whenever it is unwanted. So number one, realize that awareness is key, right? So after watching this video, you now know, like what I mentioned earlier, maybe keep a timer if you know you're watching movies, if you're studying something. Keep a timer to stay alert, like, okay, consciousness check, like, am I becoming a zombie in the moment, or what am I doing? Over time, that will become a habit to where you check yourself and realize that, hey, I'm being brainwashed right now by everything that's around me. Wake up, that's why they say we're waking up, because you're becoming more aware and attuned with your consciousness. So number one, stay aware of what's going on, stay aware of the times that you become hypnotized so that you can check yourself. Going back to theta frequency, whenever you are in theta frequency, your critical mind is shut down. So whenever we're in these hypnotic states, we just must shift out of it by allowing ourselves to be in a different frequency. So not only are we going to be in the habit of becoming aware of it and then shifting, and then being like, okay, doing a self-check, but then also incorporate other activities as like little breaks in between things to shift yourself out of a frequency. So alpha and beta are more of your awake consciousness states. Whenever we do things like critically use our mind, strategize, reason, judge, choice, use that free will, we are operating in different frequencies. So that's going to allow us to snap out of it. Lastly, we want to count ourselves out of it. You don't have to, but it is a tool you can use. So if you're driving down the road and you feel like you're just kind of being like hypnotized right now, if that's how you feel, you are in if you are really being hypnotized, you can make your own why can't I get this word out? Your own suggestion to yourself that you will wake up out of it. So if you are in the hypnotic state and you sense that, make a suggestion to yourself that when I count up to 5, I will be fully awake, alert, and conscious. So say that to yourself. When I count up to 5 and snap my fingers, when I wake up and count my fingers, I don't know why I said that twice, I will be fully awake and conscious. So you go 1, You take a deep breath if you need to, or you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and snap, or you can take 1, take a deep breath. Whatever feels best for you in that moment allows you to, you know, really free yourself up, but then snap, and then after you make that suggestion to yourself, snap, and then allow yourself to do that. If you are truly in hypnotic state and then you make that suggestion to yourself, count yourself out of it and snap, you will wake up out of it. That's just the beauty of the human mind. It's so malleable. So these are how we become hypnotized, whether that be consciously or unconsciously. We are becoming hypnotized. These are the ways and times of the days that we are likely to be hypnotized, and how you can snap yourself out of it. If you like this video, comment down below what you learned the most, what you liked about it, and what questions you have. As said earlier, I am a student of hypnotherapy, so I know in detail a great bunch about the human mind, and I'm a huge nerd. So comment any questions you have, so I also know what more videos to bring for you guys. That hypnosis is going to be available for free down below. And as always, guys, dream big, live large, be live. Bye.